Now this is a poem, the 10th of 12 songs to the poetry of Justinus Kerner, a naturopath, one of the very first psychiatrists, a person who respected mentally ill people and had a sort of one of the very first clinics in German for them, a person who was concerned about the planet. He was very green in his sympathies. He believed in nature, cures, I mean, and homeopathy, all these type of things. He was a sort of a Jungian avant la lettre in many ways, believing in all sorts of, well, I mean, the whole world of Justinus Kerner is a complicated and rather marvelous one. And here, I'll just tell you, before you sing it, don't judge a book by its cover. Those people who seem to be happy have got a more complicated and deep hidden tears. You can never know what people go home about and cry about in the privacy of their own home. So in a sense, that element, you're supposed to be correcting someone who sees life far too simply. It's all about, oh, they seem to be great. No, the answer is just like dew comes overnight and the heavens seem to be wet. People who are seemingly happy bear burdens at home and weep at night more than you would ever know. So the idea is not about boom. There is an element, piano at the beginning. There's a long build. Yes, it has got a big climax. But a lot of the song is about the secret inner personal life of somebody that is unguessable. Do you see what I mean? And it's that, you know, this is another big tune. It's a great big movie tune. But it's got to be in a great performance more than just, again, a trumpet voluntary. See what you both can do. Right. Beautiful. The spin that you can get up in the top of your voice in piano is astonishingly beautiful. I'm sure many people have said that to you. But you can allow yourself another alla breva. After all, 6/4 is 2 in a bar. So start. Go on from the Wunderblau bar, where you give 2 bars before she changes into A flat. Thank you. Very many lovely, beautiful things in there. I still think the tempo's not quite right, and I also reminded myself about the very first song, when you actually, Mein Besseres-ish, that on that Besseres there's a diminuendo where you Besseres-ish. Again, if you actually look at that diminuendo, my better self, as opposed to my better self. You know, I actually think that you are, I mean, that color, you didn't actually go for it too much. Indeed, I felt that occasionally, when you've got such a singing tone, the piano could match it more. When you actually go stets fröhlich sei, then go down for sein Herz even more. So just go from see, that's where within two measures you've got this change of register. And physically you can do it, and technically you can do it. It's amazing. But stets fröhlich sei, what it means to say is that it seems that it's happy. People are reading you as being happy, but they've got these big burdens. And so you have the stets fröhlich and then the real truth of their sadness at the cadence. And when you have a voice of this quality, it behooves us accompanists to try and match the singing tone of the voice. Accompanists learn how to actually find tone by copying the colors of their singers. When one is lucky enough to work with a singer who really has wonderful tone. I mean, in my own career, I played differently before and after accompanying for years Dame Margaret Price, just because of the constant feeling of color and the challenge to match it. And basically, you know, that even though it's piano, etc. Can we go back to page 1? Mm. Let's do bass flat. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. I can honestly think that you are one of those singers that has the ability, by the sheer vocal color you have, to suggest the compassion for another person's plight that is inherent in the song. And the way that you can get that G without doing an unforced crescendo on it or a gulp on that, you know, the first high G, it's amazing. I mean, and you know, but with great gifts come great, great responsibilities. It's a bit like John Rockefeller, who had to almost killed himself giving away all his money. I mean, that's, you know, one of the actual things that we have to do. When you have to be a philanthropist because of all the gifts that you've been given, it's tough, because it requires a lot of hard work. And I mean, in a sense, your instincts are, your musical and vocal instincts are extraordinary, as well as your gift. I think it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, how lucky you are as a young pianist to actually play for someone who can actually do it, you know, when in fact, let's face it, it's a long slog for many people to get to that situation. But with confidence and with greater experience, your inner conductor will develop. So it's not just a question of responding to what you get from a pianist, but actually becoming creative yourself. Mm-hmm. But the idea, you see that piece, I really like that humility in you, so that the piece just doesn't become a great big yelled sing. It becomes something that you can control, that you can actually, in the true sense of the word, of interpretation. And I think you play the piano very, very well. But in fact, again, in that postlude, when she's just been singing all those glorious sounds, try and sing like mad. One can't suddenly have a drop in temperature at the end. It requires finger intensity, not suddenly forte, but just keeping up the emotional temperature in the piece. And yet for me, I'm so glad I've done this in so many classes and it's actually not been understood, but you turn this piece into something very, very special. And by, in a sense, being able to tame the beast. It's a big beast, and you can tame it. Goodness, I wish that we had the chance to work for hours, but I have to go on. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.